People that come in and sponsor, if they're not a sponsor, they're not going to give people free advertisement. So try to see in this clip, look at the graininess, the special effects that they put on, but there's a whole row of spices you're going to see in the kitchen that every one of them you can't read because we didn't get a permission slip to go ahead and put their products online. And this is their way of getting around not having to basically pay the people.
That's a colony of German roaches.
Roaches are mechanical vectors of disease. By walking on food and dishes, roaches can spread 33 kinds of bacteria, 6 parasitic worms, and a host of other pathogens. The CDC estimates there are over 76 million cases of food-related illness each year, which makes disease-carrying roaches enemy number 1.
Did you guys see that whole line of spices? Couldn't read anything on there, could you? That's where the graininess comes in. That's where they film everything together. They liked the picture. They needed to work in the episode, but they now can't go back and ask for permission slips, so they basically would do all these special effects. The thing they ask us always to do is, guys, try to turn things, or they tape it over. Even my computer here, you can't tell it's a Dell because they've taken tape and put over everything in case I'm using the computer on the show. Dell isn't a sponsor, so they don't get any free time. On this next clip, you'll see, watch the bottles next to the B&G, how they're turned, because you can't see what the name is. And then when we did have to use a product, we didn't get approval, so we had to blur out the name of the product.
Next, they lay down a residual poison barrier using a B&G fan sprayer.
It's basically a fan spray, and you want to spray the baseboard, the floor area.
And for tight cracks and crevices, a precision nozzle.
It's almost like if somebody threw a bucket of acid in your face. I mean, this is home stuff.
See, the thing is the loggers, the guys that did all the special effects, they would take us to lunch and beg us, please, turn the bottles the opposite way, because for them to blur that out takes so much time that they could rather do other things. So we always had embedded in our mind whenever we set up for shots, we had to start turning things. So when you see simple sprays going on or treatments going on, we have so much stuff going through our mind of making sure labels are turned the opposite way, we're facing the right way so we don't have to do pickups. Because 6-hour shots could then turn into 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. And doing the pickups when we're there are easy, but having to recreate it, which we had to in some instances, makes it very difficult for us by the end of the day, because then you have to remember, what did we just do? So they have a logger there telling us, okay, your sleeve was rolled up here, you have to do this, let's recreate that. It gets very tedious. Because believe it or not, that's where all the calls come in. After we film an episode for about a week, we'll get anywhere from 400 to 1,000 calls. And they'll all want to know, is that client okay? What happened? Was everything good about it? I mean, it's just unbelievable. On the backside, this is the stuff that's all done in the rooms. This is the stuff you never see. And that is the episode research. We get the calls in, we actually have to send people out to sum up the location, if it's really even worth filming at. Some of the things sound great, we show up, we learned this after the first lesson. We had a great call, the lady was just very emotional, said it was going to be she had this huge roach issue and we need to get this taken care of. We show up, there's 2 roaches in the place. I mean, that's, you have 18 crew members, you have all this, so we learned right away, no more. You have to research it. So we actually had crews going out prior to make sure that all the stories were what they said they were.